All right, so I got a story to tell you guys about. I mentioned it yesterday, or yeah, yesterday. It was a story that I told my friend Des. Oh, I wrote it in the notes back a few years back, like 10, 15 years ago, whatever it was. Facebook used to have this little area that you can click on. It said notes, and you can type shit up like stories and shit like that. So I used to do that. I used to tell different stories on there, kind of like what I'm doing now, but I would do it on Facebook, write it. And so I told because she had, hey, tell the story, tell this story about that one story you told on Facebook. So I said, all right, I'll mention, I'll talk about it, So um, I was probably like 6 years old at the time, and this is another story about Inglewood. It happened in Inglewood. I used to try to be over at my grandma's house as much as I possibly could to be out of my house. Things weren't always good at my house. So on the weekends, I would try to get away. So I had asked my mom if I could go spend the weekend at my grandmother's house in Inglewood. So she took me over there. And like I've mentioned before, at my grandma's house, I could do whatever I want. You know, I was 6 years old. I wasn't into trouble and all that shit, but, I could stay up late. At my house, I had to be in bed by 8 o'clock, even in the fucking summertime. Didn't matter. I had to be in bed at 8 o'clock. I finally, eventually, by the time I was 13, graduated to 8:30. On the weekends, I was able to stay up a little bit longer, but during the week, 8:30. Um, at my grandma's house, I could stay up as late as I wanted to. So this one time I was there, and my grandmother had told me that I needed to get in the bath. She was going to go and get us some Pioneer chicken, and that she wanted me to go take a bath, and she would be back. So I said, all right. So I got in the bathtub, and I'm just fucking around, playing in the bathtub, like a little kid would. And I look up and I see something hanging on the shower curtain. I didn't know what it was, so I stood up and I stood on that ledge of the bathtub, and I reached up and I grabbed it. It was like a big balloon, like a big balloon. I think this what caught my eye because it was red. And it was a big balloon, but I mean that's why I thought it was like a big balloon. And it had a spout on it, and the spout had all kinds of holes on it and shit. So I didn't know what it was, so I took it down, and I seen that you can unscrew it. So I unscrewed it and I put water in it. I filled it up, put the cap back on, and I was spraying it. I was spraying it in the bathtub. And, I was having fun. I mean, as a little kid. My grandma came back and she was to check on me, so she get me out of the bath so I can eat. And she sees me playing with this thing. She's like, hey, what are you doing? Don't be playing with that. It's not for you. Don't be playing with that. It's not yours. Don't be touching this stuff that's not yours. So she took it. And whatever, I finished washing up, went out, got dressed, and I sat in front of the TV and I was watching, I think it was like a Charlie Brown movie that I came on. And I'm sitting in front of this little coffee table. She served me some food. I'm eating. I'm watching this cartoon at night. It might have been close to fucking Thanksgiving because I think it was like the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving or some shit. So anyway, that was that. I think it was the next day. Again, same shit. My grandmother told me, hey, go get in the bath, take a bath. You know. So I go to the restroom and I'm looking for that fucking big balloon. I'm looking, trying to find it. It's not hanging no more. So I'm going through the cupboards and I find it. It's under the sink. So I get it and I put it in the bath. I run the water and I'm playing in the bath with this thing. So unscrew it, put fucking water in it, spraying and spraying myself, spraying my head with it, fucking spraying water in my mouth, spraying the walls of the fucking bath. I'm just having fun with this thing. And my grandmother comes in to get me out of the bathtub, and she's like, "Hey, I thought I told you to be fucking playing with that thing. It's not yours." She takes it, empties it out, takes it, and takes it out of the bathroom. So then that was that. I get out, get dressed, watch TV. Years passed. Years had went by, and I think it was like when I told the story on Facebook, I think it was like it had to be between about 10 years ago, maybe a little longer. And the reason why I told the story is because for some strange reason, that memory popped into my head. The memory of playing in the bathtub at my grandmother's house. It popped into my head. And then I realized what the fuck it was that I was playing with. And I was like, I had to laugh. And I was fucking disgusted at the same time. Because I realized that it was my fucking grandmother's douchebag. Now, some of you might not know what a fucking douchebag is in this time. But it's what women used to use to clean up their fucking vagina. They put vinegar in it and water, and they spray it up in there, clean themselves out. And here I am, this fucking kid, playing with this thing in the bathtub and squirting fucking water in my mouth and all over my fucking face with this thing. And I had to laugh at the same time. I had to be fucking disgusted. Like, what the fuck? Why would you leave that in the bathroom when you know there's a little kid in there? Yeah, a little kid is a little kid. He gets into shit. No wonder my grandmother was so pissed off that I was fucking playing with this goddamn thing. So I told that story on Facebook, and everybody was just like laughing. Oh, my fucking light went out. The battery died. Anyways, yeah, that's the story of the fucking douchebag at my grandmother's house in Inglewood when I was 6 years old. So there it is, Des. I told the story. That's for Des. She's the one who tell that story. So yeah, I told her I would. So that's the story of that. Anyways, everybody take care. Be talking to you.